Hello guys, welcome to Coastal Reactions once again. Thank you so much for always liking, sharing, subscribing, of course telling your friends about what we do. Thank you so much. Yes, we've got Big Lala in the building today, and of course Burna Boy, the Odogwu himself, is also right here, in the building. There's a whole lot to talk about. This man right here, Burna Boy, doing his thing right from, a lot of people say 2018, but I knew him from 2012, doing his thing. Yes, I knew Burna Boy from like to party.
Anybody who's saying Burna Boy only came 2018,
of course,
they are being mischievous.
Yeah,
because everybody knew Burna Boy from,
of course, from now. Towards the album, 2020 album was quite, done quite a thing for him. The Grammy Awards, the BET Awards, a couple of other awards, to his name. But even after then, Burna Boy, of course, told people that another album, August 2021. Is going to drop. We discussed about that, some months ago. Burna Boy saying he's dropping an album, but right now, Baba don't change mind though, or is this talk about shifting his album and everything? Is it a joke?
No, I don't. Well, it might be two things. It might be, let me create a conversation.
I might decide not to drop an album for a long time. Is it? In fact, you know what? No album to further notice.
The guy talks like he's in his mind. I don't know why you're typing something and you're typing it like in your mind.
He's talking like he's talking. You know what?
Like you didn't cool down to type it. Well, it might be two things. It might be him just trying to create conversation around him before he drops the album unexpectedly. But at the end of the day, if he decides to do this, not drop an album, the general public are not the ones suffering. It's Burna Boy and the Burna Boy brand that will suffer it. So he needs to think twice about this statement if truly he means it. It's two things. It's either that or that. So
okay, well, a lot of people actually, were expecting Burna Boy to drop an album and everything. Burna, not dropping an album. Is it a good move or a bad move?
Well, if you see, it can be a good mood, a good move, right? Yeah. You know why? Because look around. The what's it called? The people he's competing against right now. Who is running things right now? Big Wiz. Big Wiz is running a lot of things, right?
A lot of the show.
Do you want to go head to head? I mean, Wizkid's success is already driving some sort of change in plans for Burna of what is next.
Think so?
Yes. Now, question. Obviously, that was not what Burna intended to drop.
Yeah.
I mean, Wizkid's success has already driven him away from releasing what looks said to be the next single, which is the Ballon d'Or. I mean, you wouldn't even publicize shooting the Ballon d'Or video if you're not ready to drop it. But made the Lagos and Essence had made him change his mind. Right now, it's time for him to drop an album. Again, that particular success of Wizkid is driving this decision again not to drop an album. If Burna Boy was planning to drop an album in August, that was in view of a Grammy, and that's fact because the last week in August is the deadline for his drop an album. If you want to submit in view for a Grammy, it's also a perfect time because it's so close to when they are going to release nominations. They are going to now consider songs that it's very close. It helps people who release very close to that August. They stand a good chance because recency is there. Like it's fresh, it's new. The trend and the wave that is going is new, are we? But somebody's already doing that in Wizkid. He's already dominated anything that has to do with June, July, August. He's dominated the summer, right? And here is Burna who's thinking, if I drop this album, say go waste like this, will I do as much as what Wiz is doing right now for me to be considered so I can say, I've been nominated for a Grammy 3 times in a row? Obviously that would have been in his mind, but Wiz's success has actually scattered that plan.
So is Burna Boy scared of Wizkid? That also, is it, if he decided to drop this album, would you say it's a Wizkid? Would you say he's being scared of the fact that Wizkid is currently, the one? I mean, no doubt about it. Everyone, it's clear at the moment. I mean, maybe not too clear, but of course we can say Wiz is clear. Would you say Wizkid's, wave at the moment is making this?
I won't say scared, but it's making him sit up and be like to be more strategic in how he goes about dropping his music. Ideally, what he would have done is stick to his words, right? I'm dropping an album in August, but if he drops an album in August, that makes there's less chance of it being nominated because there's already Wiz, who people have already earmarked that definitely he's going to be nominated for that World Album category.
Yeah.
And he was someone who has been very, very successful over the last 12 months, or in fact 10 months, with his album. So Wiz's success has pulled Burna to have a rethink of, should I really drop this album? And now he's trying to spin it with this statement. I might decide not to drop for a long time. If Burna doesn't drop an album, he's the one that will suffer it. It's not me or the fans or even his fans that was not far from it. Because the moment you start hoarding albums or you're just cooling down, you're not dropping things, you're not appearing, people will move on to the next best thing or move on to other things. There's so many options for Nigerians to choose from.
In terms of holding albums and everything, Wizkid did it for 6 years before he released Made in Lagos.
Yeah.
What makes you think Burna Boy, can't also, do, or what is it trying to go through, that route as well?
No, I don't think he's trying to do that. I don't think he's trying to do that at all. Wiz did it, but was it intentional for Wiz? Was Wiz working on Made in Lagos for that 6 years? We know that Wiz has said that he has changed what Made in Lagos is supposed to be like several times. He was undecided on what route he wanted to go. But let's not forget that Wiz dropped sounds from the other side as well. And he also dropped an EP in the interim, right? Is Burna going to drop an EP? Okay, he says no album. Maybe he wants to now do an EP. We don't know. But if he decides to stay quiet or not give, fans what they want, is his band that will suffer it.
Okay, well, quite a lot to talk about Burna Boy, and the album thing and all of that. Now, for a Burna Boy, dropping an album, every year as well, don't you think that it's a good decision that he's trying to take a rest? If this statement is actually, a serious one from him.
Well, it's not for him to rest. He's on tour right now.
Yeah.
Although it would have been hectic for him to drop an album by this time. The way he said that statement was like somebody annoyed him that, okay, fine, I'm not dropping an album. That's the way the statement came
about.
He want
to beg him.
Who now go and beg Burna Boy like this?
Burna Boy like this.
But then he's missed an opportunity. If August is gone, like the explanation I gave before, if August is gone and you drop it in September, right? You drop an album in September and it's in view of the Grammys. That means you won't get nominated for this Grammys, right? You get nominated 2023 Grammys, right? But your album came out before the Grammy Awards live shows, right? Before. So do you think people will still remember that album? Would they really, really remember it? The next nomination list.
Wizkid is doing it right now.
No, Wizkid is not doing it because Wizkid is in November and then they dropped Deluxe in August, isn't it? So is it not still fresh? And is it not still buzzing? Is the song not still pushing the album? Yes, it's there. But Burna does not have the luxury of that. He doesn't at all.
What if Burna tries to do that same thing, that same strategy, drop in November, drop the
Deluxe? Burna doesn't want to say exactly what he's looking at. It's exactly what I just explained.
So the Grammy is actually the consideration why
it's in view. You see,
but he's won the Grammys, already.
But he's won it.
He doesn't want to compete with Wizkid and the next.
What's better than winning a Grammy once?
Twice.
Winning it twice successively.
Yes.
But Wizkid has already scattered that plans. You can't do it again. So, but now, Wiz can do that.
So are you saying that if Burna Boy, has dropped in August, and they have to nominate either of the two albums, for the because it would have been eligible for the Grammys in 2022 and everything, would you say that he knows that surely Wizkid is going to get nominated even if he drops an album in August?
Sorry, repeat that question because it don't confuse me.
Okay, so the thing is, Burna Boy not dropped an album in August. I'm saying a long time and everything.
Yeah.
Are we saying that if Burna Boy had dropped an album in August, which would have been eligible for the Grammys, he would have gotten a nomination ahead of Middle?
It will be tight. It's less chances. Burna got nominated for the Grammys in the same category 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
You know how many kilometers they waka for that nomination to come 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
You know how many kilometers they waka. But now there's a viable option that didn't have to work out, but doing it his own way, right? And everybody's earmarking that yes, so this album can get nominated for this category. Even Burna said will be like, if I drop this album, it's a risk because look at the competition from last year. Who was he competing with to be in that category? Right? From Nigeria, let's assume that they want to give Nigeria 1 slot. Adekunle Gold. Tiwa Savage. Yemi Alade. Patoranking. Really? Against Burna. He blew by the win. Everybody that submitted album for Grammy that time, it was a waste of time for them because Burna took that slot. Are we going to get 2 Nigerians in that category? Although it would have been good if Burna tried it, but it was a risk because he stood a risk of not being nominated in that category.
Does it mean that for every album that Burna wants to release, he needs to have the Grammy in mind?
That's what he had in mind. For somebody to go release an album that's as good, as successful as African Giants, you release that album. If the album is that good, shouldn't you, if you are smart enough, shouldn't you push it more? But because you did not win a Grammy, you decide, no, I'm going again. And you went with a Twice as Tall, package with everything, did this, that's it by nature, that, and the other Grammy winning band, Chris Martin, all of them. You went with all that, and it worked, and you won it. And you thought, oh, I want to do it again, because obviously that's the plan. Because if it wasn't the plan, he wouldn't mention it in interviews that, you want to, I'm going to drop an album the same time as the last year. You wouldn't say it in an interview.
Definitely.
Obviously, we know plans can change, but what changed your plans? What changed your plans is not because, somebody annoyed you. No, it's because you think somebody else has a better chance than you in competing. It's been smart, and there's no shame in admitting it. But don't come online and be like, I'm not dropping an album for a long time. Who cares?
So the fear of Wizkid?
Of course, I would say yes. Not really the fear, but it's been strategic. He knows that, yes, this is Wizkid's year. Forget that he won a Grammy this year, but since that Grammy that he won, it's been Wiz and Wiz and Wiz and Wiz. And a smart person chooses his fight carefully. You don't want to go head to head. Nobody wants to go head to head with a Wiz this year. If now people don't submit album for Grammy nomination, anybody will say go submit album for that world album category that's from Nigeria is wasting it our time. They're wasting their time. The only time you want to get a look in is when a Burna or a Wiz has not submitted. Wiz definitely he don't submit,
definitely.
So why do you want to waste your time?
Come on, that time wasted. Anyways, let's hear from you on that one. Burna Boy coming up to say, I know good album, I beg. I'm not dropping. You know what? I just might not drop that album in a long time. What do you think about Burna Boy actually cancelling his 2021 album? A lot of people are actually expecting that one. Who gets to suffer it? Burna Boy, all the fans. Is this a case of the fear of Wizkid or the success Wizkid is getting right now? Does Burna Boy think that, you know what, I don't have a chance, or I don't stand a chance, so I'm not dropping this album at all? What exactly? Or is Burna Boy really playing, or is joking right now? Is he going to drop the album? A fan said Burna Boy go drop track list now, we go here and everything. Let's hear your thoughts on that one. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.